Hello everyone, this is our next video of Fortinet NSE 4 series, and today video we are going to learn destination NAT. Also this is called as a static VIP in the term of Fortinet Firewall, and also we will perform a lab to see how it is working on the Fortinet Firewall. So what is static VIP? So basically this is the terminology of the Fortinet Firewall. So static VIP are used to map external IP addresses to the internal IP addresses. This is also called a destination NAT, where packet destination is being netted or mapped to the different addresses. So basically the static VIP, it's called as a mapping of the external IP address to internal IP addresses. So we already know that there are two types of IP addresses: public IP addresses and the private IP addresses. So public IP addresses are reachable by the internet. So let's say if your servers, let's say this is your environment and this is the internet connectivity, and some of your servers behind of your this Fortinet firewall, I would say will be the Fortinet firewall, or so the external users will hit your public IP address, any public IP address, and they can access the web resources on the applications which is hosted behind this firewall via internet. So to achieve this process, we need to configure a static VIP, or this is called also known as the destination NAT in the networking. So static VIPs are commonly used to map public IP addresses to resources behind the FortiGate that use the private IP addresses. I just confirm that this is used for the mapping from the public IP addresses and resources which is behind the FortiGate firewall. A static one-to-one VIP is when entire IP port range is mapped. So it means that if we select the one-to-one, then every ports will be allowed. Entire port range will be mapped. A port forwarding VIP is when the mapping is only configured to a specific port. When we have a requirement to configure or access only a specific port or range, then we have to configure the port forwarding VIP. So if you have not defined the port forwarding VIP, then the entire port range will be used and static one-to-one VIP is needed. So there is the another term on that is the configure VIP groups. So VIP virtual IP addresses can be organized into a groups. After creating a VIP groups, add into a firewall policy. So basically if you have a multiple virtual IPs or VIPs, so we can segregate into this all into a one group. That group is called as a VIP groups. So it is a useful when we have the multiple VIPs, we can use together on the firewall policies. And the next one be the virtual IP with the services. So if we define the static VIP, so all port ranges will be allowed. So if you define the virtual IP-based services, the virtual IP-based services are more flexible. Virtual IP mode. So this mode allows user to define a services to a single port mapping. So we can see the external users will hit this 8080 and this will be mapped to the 23. So we can hide the original port or services which is behind the FortiGate firewall. And in this case, this port will be exposed to the external users. Other ports will be not exposed to the external users who is on the internet. So if you define the only virtual IP, then all ports will be allowed. So this was the quick description of the theory part of the destination and the Fortinet firewall. I have already prepared for the lab to test this destination NAT on the FortiGate firewall. So the setup looks like that this is our Fortinet firewall, and I have configured this external IP and the internal IP ranges. So this is my internal range, internal IP, and this is my external IP 1.10, which I will use to access this my internal servers which is behind the FortiGate firewall. So all over the thing is same. The port 1 is connected to the management, port 3 is a LAN, port 2 is connected to the ISP network. I will access my LAN network using from the ISP network with the external IP ranges 1.1.10. So this was the simple topology. I just quickly log into my FortiGate firewall, and I will show you the what are the configurations needed on the netting perspective. So before perform the net, we have to configure the IP addresses and all, like interface IP address, static net, that we need to configure. So I will not cover those things. We just focus on the destination net only. So you can see that I have created the VIP type as IPv4. So this is similar to this. Like if we go to the virtual IP, this is our virtual IP, and if I want to create a new VIP, I need to create IPv4, and here it is a IPv4. So I have a one VIP. I can show you that one. So here I have defined the name. Name it will be the external access, and this is the comment. I have typed the comments. So this is my external range. This is my external range 1.1.10 and map to the 10.30. So 1.1.10 it is belongs to this subnet 1.1.1, and 1.10.30 is my LAN host. So this is the simple configuration. I just quickly clear the counter so that if I initiate the traffic, we can see the new counter. So this is the first thing I have defined the virtual IP address here. So here I have defined the external range, and here I have defined the internal range. First thing is this, and second thing I have to create a one firewall policy to allow a traffic. So this is firewall policy. I just clear the counter also so that we can see the latest counts. So here I can see the traffic is coming from the port 2 and going to the port 3. So incoming port is a port 2 and the outgoing port is the port 3. Source is all because the internet anyone can access our servers. And in the destination address, I have called my virtual IP. Virtual IPs, this is the external servers, which I have created 1.1.10, 10.30. So the virtual servers I have used on the policies. So I have disabled the source net because it is not needed. It is the destination policy. And I also allowed and enable the policy. The two things is needed. First thing, we need to create a virtual IP and call that virtual IP is on the firewall policy. Now let's open it. This is my ISP thing, ISP router, and I will open my. I think it's not needed. Let's go back to my ISP router only. Let me closing the other session so that it will not make the confusing things. So I will start the testings, and we can see the results. So let's close it, and now let me open it again. So from here I will initiate traffic towards the 1.1.10, and then I can reach my internal network. So if I say telnet 1.1.1.10, so I can access my internal resource which is behind the FortiGate. If I say who, I will get the IP address. Who is accessing? So basically my 1.1.10, when I initiated this 1.1.10, it is being netted to the 30.10. Using that, I am able to access this my internal resources. So 1.1.2, it is accessing 1.1.2. I have initiated using 1.1.10. So it is accessible because of the destination net, and 1.1.2 because this is the source IP of the ISP router, and it is now being netted and hit it. And let us verify the firewall policies now. If I see that I should see the hit counts, now we can see that there is a hit on the firewall policy level. Hit is there, one last use 1 minute, and this is bytes. And if I go my virtual IPs, so I can see that the last use is 1 minute ago. So the both pattern is saying that this is being used. And if I say my diagnose system session list, so we'll see that list also. So this is the session list. What are the sessions are currently stabilized by the FortiGate firewall. So we should see so here it is showing that DNAT action is equal to DNAT, and the 1.1.2 is hitted the 1.1.10, and it is now NAT in 30.10. So this indicates the destination NAT is fine and it is working well. The first thing we tested, and the second thing we need to test that about the port forwarding. So here I will say the services I will use the 8080 only. So basically when anyone hit 8080, it will translate to 23. So I have just tweaked the my net, my virtual IP. So earlier when I was not called this field that all ports are allowed, now what I did, so user has to, like external user has to use this 8080 to initiate a traffic from the internet. That 8080 will convert it to the 23 because I have hide my original port numbers from the external users. This is also needed for the security purpose. So what I will do, I will just I need to exit it because I just modified it. The session got hacked. So I need to reload it, then it will recover because during the session creation, I restarted this NAT policies. So that's the thing. So I just, till that time it is going reloaded, I just explain you what I did. I used the services 8080. The external user will hit 8080, map it to IPv4 23. So from the external side, it looks like 8080 and map to the 23. This thing I change. Because of this, my original port numbers is being hide, and we can achieve the more security perspective because we are not exposing our original port numbers. And there is a one more term which is called a virtual IP groups. So basically, if you have a multiple VIPs, then we can create the VIG groups. So we can call all these VI groups and members and close. So basically, this is the another way of the, let's say you have a multiple virtual IPs and you want to group them all in one, and want to use that group on the policy, we can do this also. So I just created a virtual group and I need to call this virtual IP group on the policy so that it will use, and whatever I change on that group, it will be automatically apply to the policy. See, there is now another options, virtual IP groups. Earlier it was not there, now it is there. So this is the another way of managing this virtual IPs. Let me see if is available, then we can test my 8080 thing. So what I will do, telnet 1.1.1.10, and here I have to define the port number 8080. Now it is allowing Cisco and password. So now I will say who. So you can see that I have used my 8080 and it is netted by the firewall with IP and port number level also. So this is provide the another level of security. How I can validate my, for the first thing, we can see that my logs has been increased, and we can see this thing on the session list also about the netting things. Let me just scroll up. Okay, yeah, here it is. This is for 38.038. This is something else. And this is also a different thing. 10.10. We are looking for 1.1.1. Yeah, this is the thing. 1.1.1 8080, it is netted to the 23. This is our destination net. It is mentioned here, acting as a destination net, and the original port was initiated 8080. It is being netted to the 23. So this is proof that whatever we did, it is working fine. So on the today video, we have covered the two topics of the destination net. Also, we covered the virtual groups. We also covered the virtual service based. So virtual IP based services. Yeah, so that's all for this video. I hope you enjoyed this video, and please subscribe Firewall Excel for this kind of video. Thanks for watching.